It's episode 19 of the study. We go back to elementary school and relearn the old lesson, what is a pronoun? Because unfortunately the world is insane and words and concepts that used to be simple to understand need to be relearned. And with the help of a rhyming children's book from 2004, we get it done while unintentionally restating why everything is better with a twist of hip hop. Also, we talk about a couple of videos that serve as kind of a follow-up to my top 5 MCs from last episode, one featuring probably my favorite freestyle rapper, and another that takes a Jurassic #2 on today's garbage rappers.
That is one big pile of shit.
For a quick laugh, before we turn the knob all the way to gloom and talk about normalized online child shaming, because
what are you doing?
Not okay. And we discuss something nobody in the hustle hard, I'll sleep when I'm dead mindset wants to hear, myself included, rest. And since this goes for me too, we'll do this with the help of a teacher whose wisdom goes far beyond my high school diploma. So tell your kids to put a screen in their face and let's kick Binky's dick. This episode of the study is brought to you by people who flash high beams to let you know police are up ahead are amazing. Just amazing. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's get in trouble. Pronouns are a touchy subject these days because who the fuck knows why? So we are not going to address it in the way that you're thinking already, bigot. And instead, we're going to do it with the help of this. A classic from the family collection, a kid's rhyming book from 2004 called I and You, and Don't Forget Who, What is a Pronoun? By Brian P. Cleary, illustrated by Brian Gable. He is a pronoun. She is a pronoun. Even little old me is a pronoun. So is I, so is you, whom and they and we and who. Just like a substitute teaches your class when she's asked to fill in for your teacher, a pronoun steps in as a sub for a noun, becoming the star of the feature. Pronouns can save us a boatload of words and help to avoid repetition. They stand in for Venice, Marie, or spaghetti because that's their specified mission. Without them, we'd say Anne's father surprised Anne and bought Anne a sporty new truck. Anne got so excited when Anne first saw it, Anne couldn't believe Anne's good luck. Now, Anne is a really big fan of her name, but even she'd have to agree. These phrases could sure use a her here and there, and perhaps an occasional she. Personal pronouns stand in for a noun like Mrs. McKinley or Grady. He could be Stephen, I might mean Josh, they could be Bonnie and Brady. Sometimes a pronoun is very possessive. This cookie is mine, it's not hers. Demonstrative pronouns help point something out, as in this, these, and those are all yours. Indefinite pronouns tell about people and things without being specific, as in someone around here is quite a good cook and something in here smells terrific. Nothing and all are indefinite too, so are anyone, no one, or any. Everyone, none, several, somebody, some, both neither, nobody, many. If it helps form a question, it's called interrogative, a very inquisitive pronoun. What are you looking at? Who is your daddy? Which road do we take to the hoedown? Who can replace words like he, she, and me? It's a pronoun that's constantly doing. Who ordered pizza? Who spilled the popcorn? Who started the audience booing? Whom takes the place of them, him, and her, and the action is being done to it? With whom am I speaking? In whom can I trust? To whom would you like me to glue it? So like a pinch hitter or a good babysitter, the pronoun will say you can go noun. I've got your job covered. Aren't you glad you've discovered the helpful and practical pronoun? So, what is a pronoun? Do you know? The end, motherfuckers.
Bye, Felicia.
So before we get into the divisive and depressing topic that is the reality of online child shaming for likes and brownie points from strangers at the expense of an actual loved one, we're going to watch 2 videos that show why hip-hop is just yes, nothing but yes. The first one is by somebody you might already have heard of. His name is Harry Mack. I don't know his backstory or his come-up story, but I know that he does street walks and he does on-the-spot freestyles for passerbys, and he asks them to challenge him with a handful of words that he has to use during the freestyle. Most of the time I'm less than a fan of freestyle rap because most of it is generally straight garbage about not a damn thing, or it's written. This man is a net positive for hip-hop and the first video of today. He's another rare TikTok account that for real, you just have to be a known baby eater not to enjoy his videos. Here's just one.
I do like none other. My flow is fucking butter. I leave the track smothered. Yeah, y'all know we bout to aim them things. Ayy, swinging through the rhythm like orangutan. Hold up, yeah, grip up on the mic and I'ma wreck it. Y'all was looking panic, I was gone for a second. They was like, yo, we just wanna listen, we wanna hear Harry flow. Then I disappear for a second. Both of y'all was like, where'd he go? Yeah, and y'all know that I get too loose when I bring this music. Yeah, every time that I rhyme off top, and you know that I keep it fluid. Yeah, other rappers up in the game, they wishing that they could do this. Orangutan, I just want to prove to y'all that I used it. Let's go.
Yeah. That shit was fire. That was so good. Bro, I got so scared because someone called and like you just left the screen, but I could still hear you, and I'm like, no way.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I was wondering because I could still see you guys, so I was like, it didn't skip, but I could tell that you guys weren't seeing me. That's hilarious.
Yeah. That was so good. Yeah, that shit was good as
Thank you.
I was really good, though.
Thank you so much.
Can you drop your like your
Yeah.
app? Yeah, your app.
I'll put my my channel name in here. It's just youtube.com/Harry Mack.
Let's make it happen.
There you go. That's you.
Hey, let's go. Well, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being a part of that. Thank you for your positive energy. Y'all have a beautiful day, all right?
You.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Much love.
Like I said, he's a rare dude, and he uses the power of hip-hop to bring positivity and smiles to everybody he comes across in person and online. Alright, video number 2 features Ari Spears on some random TikTok account. I'm gonna let him take it from here because I just don't have the time and energy right now to get into what a pile of shit these young popular rappers are.
Not impressed.
I don't even need the headache right now. So here's the video.
How do you feel about this generation of hip hop, yo?
Garbage. Lil Yachty, Spot 'em, Got 'em, Lil Nas X, Island Boys, Tekashi 6ix9ine, all of them look like Tim Burton Batman villains. If you took the MCs of my era from the 90s, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, DMX, Jadakiss, Big Pun, Big L, you put them up against this young generation of rappers, you would literally have the 92 Dream Team versus the Special Olympics.
Back to hell. Let's face it, the using of children as props is nothing new, and even online child shaming isn't exclusive to TikTok or social media. One example being the annual Jimmy Kimmel Show Halloween candy prank. This is the prank where parents tell their kids that their Halloween candy has been eaten and is all gone while recording it without the kids' consent. Here's a quick look at a recent one where the show actually asked fans not to send submissions, but entries were received anyways, and the show, instead of sticking with "we're not doing this year," decided,
so what the hell, here it is.
You can have that one. You can have this one. You can have that one.
Brian a kick in the face. You should because you like that. Jesus does not lie. Remember you taught us that? It was really special.
It was
special to you.
You wouldn't do that.
It's okay, Mommy. I always can say you. It's okay.
Here's another thing. I'm not all the way convinced that these "it's okay" responses from the kids are actually, to their core, "it's okay." I think a lot of it might be "it's okay, I don't want to pick a fight," or "it's okay, I know I'll lose this fight," which is not really "it's okay." It's more like, I know what'll happen if I get upset with you, so I'll have to eat shit here while acting out the role of the bigger person. You know, your fucking job.
You're fired. Everybody's fucking fired.
Now, there are too many examples floating about the continent-sized, never-emptied porta potties that are the internet and social media as a whole to cite. So we'll dig into, like large proctologist fingers dig into, just one lovely little gem produced by Satan's newest and most popular creation, TikTok. The caption reads, "This dad caught his daughter on TikTok dancing with her shirt tied up, so he did this." Smiley emoji, skull and crossbones emoji. Watch it first, mi gente, and take it all in. Then I'll vomit my 2 cents into the stew cauldron. I hate the world so much sometimes. It takes so much wusa. So much wusa. Let's assume the situation is as the caption says, just for argument's sake, and give the dad the momentary benefit of the doubt. Now, I'm a fan of the blame game the way that I'm a fan of proctologists with extremely large fingers. By the way, the blame game and rectal checkups each require at least 2 people to take place, and in blaming as well as in losing of male adult innocence, the practice involves at least 1 asshole. But enough about dirty, stank assholes. Back to standing up for kids being shamed by the people who supposedly love them most in this world. With the temporary benefit of the doubt still in mind, I have some questions. Number 1, if there's to be a discussion about where the blame lies and why, shouldn't the default position be that the child be least culpable and the adult or adults most to blame? And I say adults plural because if the other parent or another adult is recording this and participating in this little girl's very public humiliation, blood is on their hands too. And by very public, I mean the entire school bus is watching, and this is going to get shown to at least 1 person from her class. And if it gets shown to 1 person from her class, that means it's going to get shown to more than 1 person, and then it's just out of control from there very quickly. I'm going to say it's obvious to me that none of us are well equipped to teach our kids internet and social media responsibility, because so damn few of us ourselves are responsible online and on social media. Kids for sure have a lot to be taught with love, and we all fuck up by our own measures as parents often, but we slip in moments of weakness, exhaustion, and from things in our past constantly resurfacing. We're all human and we're all flawed even when making an honest effort. But this to me is not honest effort, not the best someone can do or appropriate in any way as a method of dealing with your daughter or son making an actual ass of themselves online. So why not start by blaming the adult for the response and then deal with the child's action?
That makes a lot more sense to me.
Question number 2. Who gave the kid the phone? And who hasn't taken it away? I guess that's 2 questions. Fine, it's 2 questions. No mames. I'm going to assume that this is not the response to this girl's first offense of online fucktardery. But with a dad like this, very little would surprise me. But let's assume this is the dad's response to many failed attempts by him to otherwise curb the behavior. Why hasn't the phone been taken away? And more importantly, why does this or any kid have a smartphone? Seriously, zero need. Oh, my kid might need to use a phone at school. They have phones at school. Oh, my kid's away at camp. They have a phone at the camp. Oh, sometimes my kid's with their friend. Probably your kid's friend or one of your kid's friends has a phone. My kid sometimes goes somewhere by himself. He walks around. Our 12-year-old son asked a stranger, a passerby, politely to use their phone because he needed to, and they let him, and it was fine. And obviously stuff like that can go wrong, and you can use the exception and try to use it as a rule, but most of the time, you ask somebody on the street for help, they help. My kid likes to text me that they miss me during the day. Bullshit. Fuck texting during the day that I miss you and sending pictures unnecessary. It's not necessary. All of it potentially comes at the expense of R and X-rated material at the child's fingertips the entire time they have their phone. Things that once seen can't be unseen. Things that once heard can't be unheard. It's so simple. No phone. Or if you've already fucked up, take the phone away. Debate over, problem solved. One thing I have to add and then immediately jump off of is that this happens a lot with unmarried and divorced parents who try to buy their kids love. Emotional, damn it! And I'm not saying this happens all the time. And weaponize their kids' affection by being the parent who says yes to the thing that the smart parent said no to. But that's another can of worms. Question number 3. How is this the best anyone could have done? How is this anyone's best? Some even found this hysterical and had a great laugh because, fuck this girl. I commented something like, sometimes people just get parenting all wrong. And I'm pretty sure this video has been deleted. And I have no idea if the account's still up either. I don't much care. It's not a personal attack and it's not the point. The point is the normalizing of this. The replies to my comment were unbelievable. And while a lot of them were probably bots, I couldn't believe so many people came to the defense of the dad and not the girl. Not the more helpless one. Not the more inexperienced one. I'll also note some of the comments were positive and my comment got a few likes here and there. Now, the person who posted the video was not the creator of it. Somewhere in the comment thread I read that she was just reposting this. Nonetheless, my comment appeared on her account. So, she did a video reply that I'm going to play, but I'm going to block out her face because, like I said, it's not about her saying it, it's about it being said, because really anybody could have said this and I would have felt the same way about it. So it has nothing to do with this girl. Here's her reply.
There is not a single perfect parent on this earth. Not one. And anyone who says they are is a liar. And anyone who says, oh, I don't have kids, but I'm gonna be a perfect parent, they don't understand. Because I used to say that as a kid. When I have a kid, I'm gonna be perfect. Having a kid teaches you so much more than you realize. Like me, I used to think my mom was an awful person, and then I had a kid, and then I was like, you know what? My mom really just did her best. And that's all most parents are trying to do, is their best. But we're all flawed. We all need healing in our hearts. That's the truth.
If I'm understanding correctly, her take on this particular situation is he missed the mark while trying his best.
Bullshit!
None of that is the best anyone can do. Not by a Dan Marley three-pointer.
Marley for three. Whoa! Dan Marley with his sixth three-pointer.
My deep dive take on all this, I have one, but I don't want to further stir the pot, and I sure as hell don't want to mansplain. So, enter the Dadvocate. This is another TikTok account that I've come across recently. This lady is a married martial artist. I'm not going to call her a men's rights activist, but she speaks up for... I'm trying to say she speaks up for men. And we all know what a crime it is to speak out for men and to point out double standards. But like I said, I'm going to step back and let her take it from here. In this video from the Dadvocate's account, she uses another example of online child shaming without consent or concern, and says what I'm thinking way better than I could. Here's the video.
Weaponized incompetence, a real life example.
With what?
You remember what we've been doing?
No, I don't at all.
Malachi?
Oh, we got his name.
There's
good.
stuff that can be pulled out of the ground. Do not act incompetent. Look at my face. Look at what you're doing. It's not fooling me. You're using incompetence as a weapon, and I'm not going to deal with it.
Okay, so I think every parent has these moments with their kids where they're like, no, you know what you're doing. Don't pretend you don't, right? It's that camera that's bothering me. Why were we filming? Why was that camera there? Because that's the part that's not settling right with me. Now, I could be wrong, but what this looks like to me is that her kid had already started acting up, so she set the camera up and then just waited for her big and then the whole train clapped moment. As soon as she recognized what he was doing, she started hitting record, just ready to prove to all of TikTok that she was single-handedly changing the next generation of boys, a true hero. I mean, the comments make it pretty clear that that was the end goal. If only my husband's mom did the same. Thank you, ooh, trying my best. Raising a future amazing husband and partner. Thank you. I mean, who cares if Malachi's classmates see this one day and roast the ever-living shit out of him? Really, the fallout from the very negative and real effects of public shame and humiliation are pretty secondary, tertiary to the sweet, sweet satisfaction of validation likes. This conversation could have very well been had in private. And I hear this creator saying, oh, well, I just post real life. But here's the thing is, no one's following you around with a camera, tracking all of your flaws and embarrassing attitudes and missteps along the way and then posting them for time immemorial on the internet, are they? No, you get to control your page and you get to control your narrative, but I'm pretty sure that if someone else in your life was following you around and posting stuff like that on the internet without your knowledge, without your permission, you would not feel very chill about it or think it's just real life. But that's the problem with chronically online parents who seem to utilize their kids for views, is the consent piece doesn't seem to matter to them. How these kids actually feel about their best and worst moments being posted to TikTok without their consent doesn't matter to these parents, as long as they're seen as heroes by women who secretly hate their own husbands. I know how I would feel if someone did this to me. So I'm just multiplying that feeling by 1,000, trying to imagine how this 8 or 9-year-old undeveloped child is supposed to process this level of humiliation and betrayal. You don't have to be your kid's friend, you're absolutely right there, but you do have to protect your kids. And when you turn in your child's biggest online bully just to get woke points by using the latest buzzwords on him for clout, you aren't being as good of a mom as you think you are.
So, internet, if you're listening, stop shaming your kids online. Don't do it for likes, don't do it for clout, don't do it to teach them a lesson. It's wrong. You can do better. It's not hard to do better. You should do better. They deserve better. Stop shaming kids online. Thanks for coming to my fucking TED Talk. And in general, don't use your kids as props or for clout or for brownie points or for likes or for followers or for any of that shit. Like, raise your kids, love them, like treat them. Some people. Anyway, let's move on. Now that we've washed our hands of TikTok, let's move on to the last bit of this episode, rest. Now, nobody can roast me like me, and I know that I'm full of contradictions, and there are lots of times where I don't take my own advice. So we're going to put me aside, and we're going to listen to Jason Wilson for a minute. My wife bought me this book, and his other one, Cry Like a Man. I cannot recommend it enough. Anyway, thanks, babe, for both of these. So I'm going to be reading just a few snippets from Chapter 10, called Rest Now or Rest in Peace, from this book, Battle Cry, Waging and Winning the War Within. Jason Wilson is the founder and CEO of The Union, a non-profit youth development organization in Detroit, Michigan. He is also the director of the Cave of Adullam Transformational Training Academy and the author of Cry Like a Man. He received the President's Volunteer Service Award from President Obama for his work with youth in Detroit and was the inspiration for an award-winning episode of the hit TV show This Is Us. He is a faithful husband of more than 23 years and a proud father of 2 beautiful children. I'm going to read just a few snippets and hope that I don't piss off the YouTube gods. Again, this is from Chapter 10 called Rest Now or Rest in Peace. This first part's kind of funny. In today's grinding culture and people-pleasing society, we see rest as a sign of weakness rather than a restoration of strength. We go and go and go until we literally can't go anymore. Then, when our health fails us, we realize our unrelenting quest for success derailed us. I now see why men jokingly refer to the toilet as a porcelain throne, because that's seemingly the only time we can sit longer than 5 minutes in peace. This next part's from a section called Grinding Away. Many of us subconsciously know that the grinding mentality is slowly killing us, but the fear associated with failure keeps us working when we need to rest, fighting when we need to seek peace, and worrying when we need to pray. The word grind literally means to wear down by abrasion, to reduce fine particles by crushing or pulverizing. It can also mean to oppress or torment. It's not a coincidence that people who say they are grinding or are on the grind look worn out. Their work is crushing and tormenting them.
Coincidence? I think not!
I've worked a job where I brought my work home and did favors unpaid, burnt the candle at both ends, and felt the effects of it, and so did my family. And in promoting albums and performing and going out in places, I would always hear people talk about I don't get sleep. There's even that stupid ass motivational speech by that guy who speaks way too loud about Beyonce talking about she went days without sleep and didn't even know it. Like, first of all, I'm calling bullshit on that story. Second of all, yelling into an inspirational microphone is like, no. Moving on, this is from the same section. This one hits a little closer to home, because I'm a father too. As fathers, it's imperative that we teach our sons to have a good work ethic. The principle that hard work is intrinsically virtuous or worthy of reward. However, it's counterproductive if we do not also show them the rest ethic, the principle that rest is crucial for them to work productively. Studies reveal that a lack of adequate rest not only affects your physical health, but has a big impact on your mental health as well. Not getting the 7 or 8 hours of quality sleep you need can heavily influence your outlook on life, energy level, motivation, and emotions. That is a fact, and you know it's a fact. You're probably operating on not enough rest right now. This next section is a little bit longer, but I'm not trying to anger the YouTube gods. Michael Jordan's life and career are very public and very well documented. This next section is about him. It's from page 154. In 1993, Michael Jordan had won 3 straight NBA titles, 3 straight NBA Finals MVP awards, and 7 straight scoring titles. Just a month after MJ won his 3rd NBA title, his father was shot to death while sleeping in his car. Due to his passion for winning, MJ tried to push the emotions of losing his beloved father to the side in order to win a 4th NBA title, but he couldn't. All appeared to be well with MJ on the outside, but inside he was still deeply grieving the tragic death of his father, James Jordan. MJ stunned the world when he announced his retirement in 1993, citing a loss of desire to play basketball. His teammates, his fans, the media wanted MJ to work through his emotional pain and play. but he decided it was best to step away from the NBA. MJ's retirement became more baffling when he signed a minor league baseball contract with the Chicago White Sox. When asked about his seemingly radical decision, Jordan said, "Baseball gave me an opportunity to revisit all these moments I had with my father. It was a therapeutic experience for me." MJ was willing to risk his future success for what he needed most, introspective time to reflect on memories of his father. When Jordan returned to the NBA in 1995, he was a dramatically changed leader who won 3 more NBA titles. This mental shift led the 1996 Chicago Bulls to an NBA record for most wins in the regular season, 72, with only 10 losses. Jordan did not worry about temporarily stepping off that ladder of success. He needed to heal and rest. Similarly, we should never apologize for taking a day off and resting when we need rest. Speaking of Jordan, there's a documentary that I think is still available on YouTube called His Airness. I think it's the best Jordan documentary I've ever seen. And I know there's that new one on, I think, Netflix, but His Airness is a must-watch. You got to check that one out. One last bit before we wrap up. And again, if you haven't heard of this book or if you haven't looked into this man's work, get it for a man that you love in your life, a father, a brother, a son, a cousin. Do it for somebody you care about. Take a chance.
Just do it!
That is not a paid plug. I just dig this book a lot. This last bit, page 160, says, "The worst thing you can do is everything. As I said before, nobody will ever stop you from helping them, but you can. Take care of yourself. Learn to say no to people-pleasing, self-doubt, fear of failure, and other toxic emotions and thoughts that keep you going when you need to rest." Now, I say that to you all at 2:15 in the morning, and I gotta be up early tomorrow to hit the road, but I am trying my best these days to make sure I get a balance of sleep and work done. I don't always hit the mark, but this isn't about me, it's about us. And for us, that will do it for episode 19. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening, make sure you click all the shit, and I will see you next time. Peace.